and I'm from Karavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In the news tonight, heavy rain expected from Wednesday. Concerns raised regarding use of TikTok. And Friend Fiji assists 10,000 Fijians.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Fijians can start feeling the adverse weather conditions from Wednesday and are advised to start preparing accordingly. The tropical disturbance, which is in between Vanuatu and Fiji, is highly likely to intensify into a cyclone later today as the Fiji Meteorological Services continues to track its movement. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
The system, which is hovering between Vanuatu and Fiji, is expected to be a Category 3 or 4 cyclone when it's closer to the Fiji group.
Once it's a cyclone, a Category 1 cyclone, it remains to the waters between Vanuatu and Fiji. It will continue to linger around open waters for the next 2 days. But by then, we expect the system to further develop. By later Monday, we expect the system to most probably become a Category 2. And later on Tuesday, the system is also expected to further develop and attain a Category 3 cyclone.
The Weather Office also say that TD02F, which is the main system they are tracking, has combined with the weakened TD01F. The system is expected to bring in lots of rain and destructive winds from Wednesday onwards.
The danger here is by Wednesday, we expect the system to take a southeast track. And that will mean it's heading closer to the Fiji group.
There's also another system, TD03F, they are monitoring, which is close to Tonga. However, it poses no threat to Fiji at this stage. TD02F is moving south-southwest at 25 kilometers per hour. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama, while speaking at the Mana Voyage in Darkness concert last night, stated that in a democratic society, art must be free to flourish. The initiative aims to inspire visually impaired children to embrace their creativity and build their communication and coordination skills through art. Apenisa Wangarandovu reports Bainimarama says such an event is just one way Fijians live the principles of the Constitution by bringing it to life.
The Prime Minister says to help these Fijians, such initiative recognizes the special ability of persons with disability and promotes their talent.
Our Constitution enshrines equality of opportunity for all persons, including the disabled and the hearing and visually impaired. The government has put in place laws and programs to ensure that equality. But equality is not just a job of government. Each of us has the responsibility to make that principle real.
Bainimarama says the Fijian Constitution enshrines equality of opportunity for all persons, including the disabled and the hearing and visually impaired.
As we celebrate during this festive season, let us unite as Fijians and let us share the joy we feel tonight with our friends and family members who are unable to be with us due to the impact of the global pandemic. This evening allows us the opportunity to truly reflect on our capacity to make a difference in the lives of those who need our support.
The Prime Minister says people must be encouraged to express themselves in the way that best suits them, including through the visual arts and music. Apenisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
The Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission is concerned about trending online social networking platform TikTok being used to malign, discriminate and encourage hatred. Director Ashwin Raj says the Commission has received complaints and concerns from Fijians who've been subjected to vile debasement, with bloggers resorting to attacks based on gender, race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, disability and marital status. He says these attacks are often done in vernacular. Raj says relevant agencies need to seriously consider the emotional violence that these platforms perpetuate without any accountability or remedy for those whose human dignity and their right to private and family life has been under constant attack.
TikTok, has so many, little snippets that actually actively encourage and advocate hatred. It makes the most derogatory sort of remarks that are misogynist, that are sexist, that are homophobic. It resorts to, racial vilification, incites communal hatred and all of that. And this social media platform, I think, goes unchecked.
The COVID-19 pandemic has not only forced Fijians to move back to their villages, but it also is causing overcrowding in rural homes. The Lautoka-based NGO Foundation for Rural Integrated Enterprises and Development, better known as Friend Fiji, has assisted 10,000 people in the Western Division who were heavily dependent on the tourism industry. Director Sashi Kiran says 500 businesses outside the tourism sector have closed due to COVID-19. Pranita Prakash reports.
Friend Fiji, which has been physically assisting Fijians on the ground, says more than 10 people are forced to live under one roof.
Houses have 10, 15, 18 people living in one house because people who cannot afford rent anymore have come back to people who own homes. Some of the people who had left the villages to live in towns are coming back to find their land has been planted by somebody else.
Director Sashi Kiran adds several families in the Western Division are running out of their savings.
And we're beginning to see many families living on one-off meals per day. I have actually gone to families where there is absolutely nothing to eat, and whatever wild vegetables they've been able to get, they are boiling and eating. Now, in the last 2 months, we've seen the need for food, especially in Nengi, has gone through the roof.
To cushion the effects of the pandemic, the Agriculture Ministry has also embarked on a few initiatives.
Our aim is to ensure every Fijian family continue to have access to safe, affordable and nutritious food during these challenging times. At the same time, we would like to see that those households most affected by COVID-19 pandemic have the means and support to become more self-reliant.
The Agriculture Ministry, as of last week, has distributed 50,185 seed packages through various organizations, including NGOs. This equates to over 386,000 individual packs of seeds, which were handed out for free. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Up ahead, UN 75 Community Day a success. And President raises concern on NCDs.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The two-day UN 75 Community Day event in Nadi has been hailed a success. With hundreds of Fijians attending the event at Prince Charles Park, the organizers believe that one of the main aims of generating economic activity in the jet-set town has been achieved. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The organizers of the UN 75 Community Days event were blown away with the response shown by Fijians in the Western Division.
Oh, I'm ecstatic with it. We have almost 10,000 people over the last couple of days coming here to Prince Charles Park. And as you can see, the last couple of hours of the event winding up here with this fantastic concert by FBC and Vodafone is very well. I can hear the cheering going on in the back already. It's been absolutely fascinating.
The UN also partnered with the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation in putting together the two-day event.
There's been lots and lots of people, and they've come here for different reasons. But at the end of the day, for whatever reason they came here, whether it was for entertainment or the food or for the UN function itself, they, I believe, have gone home today or are going to go home today knowing a lot more about the UN than they ever did.
FBC also held a concert in the hope of putting a smile on the people of Nadi who have suffered significantly due to the impacts of COVID.
Sometimes it's not just about money, it's about forgetting your worries for a little while, you know, as a form of escapism. And I believe that's been achieved quite well, not just with the concert, but all the other related activities that have been going on here for 2 days. I think at least for the last 2 days, the people of Nandi have enjoyed themselves.
The event was also screened live through pay-per-view around the world in the hope of attracting tourists to Fiji when borders reopen. Philip and Ikaso, FBC News.
500 additional workers are expected to leave for Australia under the Pacific Labour Scheme in the next 4 months. Fiji joined the labour scheme in April as part of the Wuvale partnership, and 193 Fijians have already been recruited under the regional workforce to work in the meat industry in Australia. Employment Minister Parvin Kumar says 172 already left last month, and 186 additional workers are expected to leave next month.
Positive multiplier effect of Fijians under the Pacific Labour Scheme is going on a 3-year work visa is very significant towards our economic recovery. The spin-offs include, among others, are remittance inflow, family income, growth of new small and micro enterprises, new skills and experiences.
President Major General retired Chochi Conrote is challenging Fijians on their role in fighting non-communicable diseases. Speaking at the Natambua High School alumni 90 years anniversary celebration, Conrote says NCDs are a real threat to the nation and has claimed the lives of many Fijians. The president says NCDs have reduced productivity to an extent and cost government a substantial amount in treating patients with NCDs-related ailments. He says funds that can be utilized on many useful things have gone down the drain because of lifestyle choices and urges Fijians to adopt a healthy lifestyle.
These, as you know, are much needed funds that could be better utilized in improving the standard and quality of education in Fiji. Now, in supporting government's wellness program, I have demanded from the members of my household staff to be fit and well at all times and be the example to the nation in our level of physical fitness, bearing and work ethics.
The measure of success is not only limited to profitability, the number of achievements, or customer satisfaction, but sometimes it is the courage and endurance to achieve small personal goals that matters most. This week's successful Fijian story may resonate with many as Jordan Pillay tells his story of how bodybuilding saved him from his struggle with depression. Koroi Tandulala with his story.
Growing up in a family with severe asthma attacks, Pillay did not let his condition dictate what he can and cannot do.
But I came from a background that's very sickly. My dad was a really severe bronchitis, and he was really suffering from heavy asthma, and it sort of passed on to 3 brothers, and we were all heavy asthmatics, and I knew that this would be a challenge for me.
The 2 times Mr. Fiji champion battled with depression earlier on in his life before he discovered bodybuilding.
I was living with my mom back then, and I didn't have a job, and I couldn't, and I wasn't even, I was also sickly, and I was also admitted in hospital, so the expense kept going up, and everything was just crashing down for me. I'd become suicidal, and nothing seemed to work out. It was bodybuilding that got me out of the situation.
The 26-year-old have worked many jobs before his transition to bodybuilding 5 years ago.
I really faced a lot of hardships because I had quit my job for bodybuilding. My partner was pregnant. I was in a situation where I had to get it done or I would fail. Through bodybuilding, I was able to get out of the mess I was in.
Through his 5 years of being a bodybuilder, Jordan has made a name for himself in the local and international bodybuilding arena.
I've competed in 5 competitions so far, I've competed in 2 Mr. Suva competitions, 2 Mr. Fiji competitions, 1 Mr. South Pacific competition, and I'm going to currently compete in the 2020 Mr. Fiji, which will be my 3rd Mr. Fiji. There was an international competition last year held in New Caledonia. I participated in the men's physique category. I came 2nd in the 180 centimeter.
Jordan Pillay is now a personal trainer, promoting healthy living and encouraging young Fijians to pursue their dreams, whatever it may be.
I sort of clicked with bodybuilding, and bodybuilding sort of changed my whole life. From the inside out, made me a new person, a better person, a more positive person in life. So consistency is the key, and living a disciplined lifestyle is the only key to keep growing in the sport.
Working towards achieving small personal goals has paid off for Jordan Pillay, with his latest achievement being able to win the men's physique in the Mr. Fiji competitions last night. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, National Sevens teams return prize money. And Lingai rededicates win to late Holly.
हम विनल प्रकाश है गोल्टन तामो में रहता है और सबको रेडियो फीजी 2 सुने सबको लाइक करे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन
The two national shadow teams, Fiji Barbers Blue and Fiji Barbers White, that competed in the 11th Combat Ulunakau Sevens tournament were put to the test. The blue side came out victors yesterday, defeating the Whites 26-24 in the final. Tale Mateirakula with the story.
After the two-day tournament, national coach Gareth Baber has ticked some boxes from his list of expectations.
What I wanted to do was put them into this and pressurise them physically and mentally, and they found their way through, so from my perspective, really good.
Baber says the tournament has also helped them identify some areas of concern.
The teams have had a go at us. We didn't get it all our own way, but we managed to solve problems as we went through. I'm very grateful for Ulunakau as well to have stuck us in a tough tournament and gives us a good marker for where we are moving into January.
The two teams gave their prize money back to the Ulunakau Rugby Club.
The committee decided that the 22 teams, apart from the 2 Fiji Sevens teams, to be reimbursed back $100 back to the teams, so it support them with transportation or whatever cost they may be facing coming through this tournament.
Blues Kaminieli Rasaku was named the player of the final. Looking at other winners, Ulunakau Blue won the bold title, Nandi Yellow was crowned the fellow Fijians winner, Tambandamu took out the plate final, and Malayang Boys scooped the youth competition. Tale Materkula, FBC Sports.
Former Sevens utility Apinisa, the Kambalavu, is hoping to make a return to the Sevens arena in a big way, starting with the Ulunakau Sevens. The Kambalavu was part of the Tambandamu team that lost to the Fiji Barbers White 21-7 at Ratu Thakumbau Park in Nosori yesterday. Despite the loss, the Moalalau native is confident of returning to the national Sevens squad. Tale Materakula with the story.
After a lapse of 3 years, Apinisa the Kambalavu was proud to don the Tambandamu jersey again.
Feels good to finally don the Tambandamu jersey. It's been a long time coming and I'm thankful to have another chance at it.
Seeing some of his team members like Yosef Omasi and Simeon Nadeve making the national squad has been a source of motivation.
Seeing my younger brothers getting selected in the national squad has been a driving factor for me, and hopefully I get another shot to represent Fiji again.
The 27-year-old knows getting a spot in the national squad will not be easy.
It will be quite tough getting a place in the national squad, looking at the number of talented players already in the squad.
Tambandamu is now preparing for a Fiji Rugby Union Sevens proposed tournament that will feature all the top local teams.
As now we are preparing ourselves for the next year tournament. I know that FRU is preparing a 7th circuit for local tournament in Fiji for the top teams. So we are already buying a spot for that tournament.
Tamu manager Olaya Simbol Lailai says their main aim now is ensuring their players get selected in the national squad. Talima Terkula, FBC Sports.
Winning his 5th Mr. Fiji title, Inoke Lingairi has reached yet another milestone achievement. Lingairi showed his class in the Mr. Fiji National Championship last night, claiming the title ahead of opponents Ben Kaba and Tomasi Wakausu at the Civic Centre in Suva. Tale Matairakula with this.
The win was a memorable one for the 5-time champion.
And I would like to dedicate this win to my fellow late Jack Yanunrua. He passed away last year.
Lingairi says the late Yanu Yanunrua inspired him to be where he is now.
He's always been challenging me for many years. We've competed together. I think he brought out the best of me every year. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Competition hasn't been easy throughout the years, with new blood showing potential.
In terms of conditioning we bring on stage, every year we get better. The athletes are learning, the athletes are getting better. They know how to prep, they know how to diet, they know how to compete. And this just goes to show the amount of competition that every year you just get better.
Returning to stage after a 4-year lapse, Miss Fiji winner Elizabeth Mackey didn't cease to impress.
It's great. It's been 4 years since I've competed, so it's good to come back and get a feel of it. So yeah, it's great.
Mackey also won the women's physique category, while Jordan Pillay claimed the men's. Talima Terkula, FBC Sports.
Rounding up its Junior Escort Shield semi-finals, the Suva Rugby Association is astounded with the skills and enthusiasm shown by the young players. Tournament coordinator Malakai Tuweli says the level of competition has been good, with these young primary school players showcasing their talent. He says the association have plans in the pipeline to keep these players engaged in the sport and hone their skills.
At the moment, we are on discussions with Nanrunga and Nandi officials. We've started discussions with them on, and if this goes ahead, we are choosing a pool of players through consultation with respective managers and coaches of each team.
Everton denied Chelsea the top spot in the Premier League points table this morning thanks to a winning goal by Gylfi Sigurdsson. The side rewarded their returning fans with a much-needed 1-0 victory. In other matches, Manchester United were tied at 0-0 with Man City. Newcastle edged West Brom 2-1, and Aston Villa defeated the Wolves 1-0. Tropical depression TD02F was located about 395 kilometers southwest of Rotuma at 6 a.m. today, and it is currently moving south-southeast at about 6 knots. And as mentioned earlier in the bulletin, is highly likely to intensify into a cyclone later today as the Fiji Met Office continues to track its movement. Associated gale force and strong winds is expected to affect Fiji waters. In the west, fine weather prevailed with cloud covers in the afternoon. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, it was a cloudy day with occasional showers. And up north, occasional showers were also experienced. At sea, east to northeast winds 5 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southwest swells, poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. Turning to the tides, high tide was at 6:11 p.m. with the next low tide at 12:41 a.m. Sunrise is at 5:25. For tomorrow, rain can be expected for Yasawa and the Mamanuca group, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands, Vonolevu, Tabiuni and nearby smaller islands, northeast, Vitilevu, Coral Coast to Pacific Harbour and the Laulomai Viti group. Looking further to Tuesday, occasional showers and isolated thunderstorms over Yasawa and Mamanuca group, eastern half of Vitilevu, Vonolevu, Tabiuni and nearby smaller islands and the North Lao group. cloudy periods with isolated afternoon, evening thunderstorms elsewhere. Recapping the main stories. Heavy rain expected from Wednesday. Concerns raised regarding use of TikTok, and Friend Fiji assists 10,000 Fijians. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, do you think Rambuka will form a new party for the next general election? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures or videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook and Twitter accounts. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow, keep safe and good night.
कुमार सानी नायक गोमवा लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।